by, here's the person still pouring the coffee with the big smile on their face. Hi, how are you? Still pouring the coffee. Here's the coffee mug here. Still pouring it. Here's the billowing smoke. Looks really cool. Kids like it. And over the shoulder is the door, and you see the person walking in right in here. So it doesn't have to be so blatant that the guy's walking in. And that can be done if somebody says, excuse me, I got to go check something, that they can walk out. But you still have this person still talking. They've given all the information, because this is where the writer's going to write up in here. But you still have moved the action so this guy is left, even if it was behind their back.
And by showing him pouring the coffee and establishing that he's pouring coffee there, you've given a continuity to it, so it doesn't look as if it's just broken continuity. And one thing that you've done, without thinking, because it comes instinctively to you, you've put this small, even though this is small, you've put it right in the center of the panel in a place where the eye will go to it. You've kept space around it. You've got a curved line there. Everything in this panel, which you probably weren't even thinking of, the balloon here, the curved line here, this little bit of detail here, is focusing the eye on this small thing so you can't miss it, small as it is.
Yeah, okay. Whatever. It seems to work. It seems to work. I mean, now,
but you've got a natural sense of layout, is what I'm trying to say, because the layout is so important. And very often a fellow will draw something small and you lose it in the panel because it's small. But if it's laid out correctly, no matter how small it is, you can make it stand out. And as I say, you've done this automatically.
See, one of the other things I try to get kids to is no matter what the page is, there should be one impact panel. Now maybe it's sometimes impossible to do, but that impact panel could be, like I said, if it's the person pouring the coffee, maybe I'd make the panel go from head to toe all the way up, and then I would have that dark eye, because they might have just said something like, you know, Joni's missing or something like that. I've got the deep eye here, do a nice reflection in there, do the big close-up, and then, like I said, I can do whatever it is. If they're smoking, I'll cut some of the smoke in and out of the panel. I might even have it actually break the borders of the panel. But even though they're saying, oh my gosh, Joni's missing, which is the writer's, you know, job to kind of get some of the interest in, that big riveting eyeball, you're going, oh, well, I mean, it must be something intense that they're saying at that point. If they got a scorn on their face, if they're going to laugh, really make them laugh. Let them know that they're not having a conversation. Some things they're going to say is going to be, you know, I'm concerned about this, but the next panel they can go, you're concerned about that. Well, you're always worried about that, you little Willie. And they could be saying something, so they can even, you know, go from being kind of concerned to a kind of a joke within one panel, even though you're still bringing across all the information across that you're trying to get. Now, like I said, once you get to the action stuff, kids, good night. When you get to the action stuff, I've got a couple finished products here that might be a little more, that the kids can see what's happening here.
Oh, that's great.
Spider-Man here, forget what the dialogue says for the moment. I know he's not saying pass the tea and crumpet, though. You know, he's hunched over. His hands, as you can see, they're taut right here. And if I could show the veins in the hand, I would. This one's there. He's got that big bow-legged spread eagle that the superheroes do. And it's like, you can tell that he's not really in a good mood, whatever it is.
It's a tense situation.
Yeah, that he's there. And so when I'm saying, now, what's in the background? Who knows, you know? I do this artsy-fartsy stuff. Kids call it style, thank you again. And all of a sudden it fills up the page and the kids go, wow, look at all the detail, look at all the detail. You do a little bit of silhouette, wow, look at all the detail. I do a lot of this line work, a lot of cross-hatching or something like that. Again, here's a body. Is he going to hold them up? Yeah, he's not holding them up right here, as you can see. He's holding them up straight over his head. I mean, you're going to pick a guy up, pick him up. Hide the anatomy with the cape, cool, he's out of there. Spider-Man shoots some webbing onto the back, so I've got to indicate that there's the webbing being attached to the flaming guy's head. So here's how you can tell it's the guy with the flame.
And here's that one strand of webbing you were talking about that goes all the way through.
It's a pain in the rear, you're right. And then when he pulls him off and says back off, he's pulling him off like 100 miles an hour. Here's little Spider-Man here. He's ripping him off. You know, he's not saying get out of the way like you and I would do. They're ripping them off. And again, those are my personal opinion on how to do superhero comic books only.
It's been wonderful having you here. I have to relent to do that. And I think that everybody watching this cassette, and I'm hoping there will be millions of them, now realize why we call the series Visits with the Comic Book Greats, because you certainly are one of them, and it's been a pleasure being here with you.
Thank you,
Thank
Stan.
you, Todd.
Thank you.
Right.